And guess what? Insurance claims are becoming more expensive, with the average cost of insurance going up nearly 14% last year. That's according to Bankrate. That's an extra $243 a year for the average driver. So Gordon went to look to point to exactly what's the problem. Why is this happening? And can we get him back up?
Yeah, we're seeing more accidents and higher costs, plus theft is becoming a really big problem for the insurance industry. So they're charging more, and a lot of drivers are thinking about dropping their insurance, or at least part of their insurance, to save some money. Experts say that may actually be a good idea for some drivers, but for many, it's the last thing you'd want to do right now.
So we're seeing premiums spike.
Mark Calda with the Insurance Federation of Minnesota says it's not just you. Car insurance prices are pretty much going up for everyone these days, with the average Minnesotan paying more than $1,700 a year, according to a new study from Bankrate.
During the pandemic, when the roads were empty, people were driving a lot faster. And now, even though we have more cars on the road, they haven't slowed down. So the biggest problem is we're seeing a lot more claims costs because of crashes and crash intensity.
Calda says we're also seeing higher prices at the body shop, with expensive parts and higher labor costs. Plus, there's often a wait to get in, so insurance companies often have to pay more money for a rental car while you wait.
I mean, we're seeing auto thefts at very high levels. The catalytic converter theft issue is off the charts.
Calda says it's gotten to the point that in some catalytic converter theft cases, insurance companies are deciding that it's cheaper to total the vehicle than it is to wait for a body shop to fix it.
The biggest problem is that when premiums get too high, people start to drop coverage. And so if people drop coverage, then what happens is you might see more uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage claims. And that means people that do have insurance have to pay more to make up for the people that drop their coverage.
Calda says it's illegal in Minnesota to drop your liability coverage. It's required by law. But there are two types of insurance most drivers pay that aren't required: collision and comprehensive.
So collision coverage pays to repair your car if you get into an accident, if it's your fault. Comprehensive covers everything else that's not collision related. So if it's weather related, if it's a theft.
Dropping those two coverage options can often save drivers a few $100s a year. But Calda says it's important to know what you're giving up. If you own an older vehicle that isn't worth much, Calda says pocketing the money and paying for repair costs out of pocket could make sense. But for most drivers, he says, paying for a repair yourself could cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Plus, if you have a car loan, most lenders require collision and comprehensive coverage. Calda says a better way to save a few $100s is to shop around.
Just because your own insurance company is wanting to raise your rate doesn't mean they all would.
Now, I was also shocked to find out the biggest life events that can jack up your insurance costs. According to this study from Bankrate, here in Minnesota, a speeding ticket could add nearly $400 a year, an accident up to $700 a year. No surprise there, but the biggest ones are a DUI at nearly $1,700, adding a teenage driver to your policy, also $1,700, and if your credit score goes down, that could add up to $1,500 a year, because experts say studies have shown that people who have lower credit scores are more likely to get into an accident, and the insurance industry will penalize you for that.
Well, I find that grossly unfair. I probably have a terrible credit score, and I'm a great driver, Gordon.
You'll beat the statistics there.
Yeah, I also don't speed because I'm old. But thank you so much. That's a lot of good information.